When you hear the term ball hog, what players do you immediately think of? Some of the most notorious ball hogs in NBA history include Kobe Bryant, Allen Iverson, and Carmelo Anthony, just to name a few. And oftentimes, those that are labeled as ball hogs are also inefficient players, as they shoot slightly below or very much below league average field goal percentage. But what if there was a ball hog who not only shot at league percentage, he shot increasingly above league percentage? A man where whenever he stepped a foot inside the 3-point line, it was a 50% chance the ball was going through the basket if he shot it. I didn't think a player like that would even exist until one day when I saw Giannis being unstoppable against a bad team in the NBA this season. They then showed this graph that's on your screen right now. And the man that has done it more times than Wilt Chamberlain and Shaquille O'Neal, quite honestly, does not get talked about enough, especially in comparison to those other two players. But not to fear, I'm here to make sure that everyone knows who he is. What's good, family? It's your favorite cousin, Commissioner CJ, and welcome to the Basketball Lore Archive, the channel that analyzes and appreciates the history of basketball. And today I have for you one of, if not the most efficient scorers to ever step foot on an NBA basketball court. A man who was the definition of unstoppable no matter which way you want to slice it. If you haven't caught on by now, I'm talking about Adrian the Teacher Dantley. A man that was too quick for the power forwards of those times and a man too strong for the average wing player. And once the ball left his hands and it was going towards the basket, you might as well started walking back down to set up your offense because you was taking it out the out of bounds line. But enough about the height. Let me formally introduce Mr. Dantley. Adrian Dantley was a 6'5", 208-pound small forward drafted with the 6th overall pick in the 1976 draft. That size mixed with his quick first step and elite touch around the basket made him an absolute unit on the basketball court. And just by looking at his career accolades, you can see that there was a man you had to game plan against, as he was a 6-time All-Star, a 2-time member of the All-NBA team, a 2-time scoring champ, a Rookie of the Year in the 76-77 season, and by the end of his career, not only did he make the Hall of Fame, he also retired as being the 9th leading scorer in NBA history when he retired in '91. But what made Adrian Dantley so special was his ridiculously efficient field goal percentage, in which he would finish his career with a 54% shooting from the field. Just for some comparison, Michael Jordan and LeBron James, two of the most efficient players to ever play the game of basketball, both have field goal percentages under 50%. If that doesn't tell you how ridiculously easy it was for him to put the ball inside of the basket, then I don't know what will. But his field goal percentage is just the tip of the iceberg. Let's take a deeper look into what he was really doing for his 15-year-long career. Over the course of 955 games, Adrian Dantley would average 24.3 points, 5.7 rebounds, 3 assists, 1 steal, around 3 turnovers, while shooting 54% from the field, 17% from the 3-point line, and 81% from the charity stripe. But what about his rookie year? What about his prime, those scoring titles? Did he ever make it deep into the playoffs? Well, don't worry, because I'm about to tell you right after these messages. Sorry, but I gotta call this quick timeout. Did you guys know that only about 6% of you guys are subscribed to the channel?
What? Bro, what are you talking about, man?
I'm talking about my stats. As you can clearly see, only about 6% of you guys are subscribed that watch my content. If you're not already, please make sure to subscribe, as it not only shows support for the content, it also lets me know that you enjoy watching it just as much as I enjoy making it. Same with all that out the way, back to your regularly scheduled program. Adrian Dantley's rookie year would be one for the record books, as in 77 games, he would score 20 points, grab 7.5 rebounds, dish out 2 assists, giving you about 1 steal, 1.5 steals a game, while shooting 52% from the field, 81% from the free throw line. And that rookie showing would be more than enough to secure him the Rookie of the Year for that season, where he would show that he was here to stay and he was here to get buckets. However, despite the amazing start to his NBA career, he would bounce around the league for 2 more seasons after that, playing for the Indiana Pacers and the Los Angeles Lakers respectively. It wasn't until the 1979 to 1980 NBA season when he would finally break out and become an all-star for the Utah Jazz. And within that first season for the Jazz, he would average 28 points, 7.5 rebounds, about 3 assists, getting 1.5 steals, but turning the ball over 3.5 times a game. However, he would make up for it by shooting 57% from the field and 84% from the charity stripe. That year would be the official start of his prime, where he would then on to dominate the league in terms of scoring. As between the years of 1980 and 1988, he would play in 611 games. And in those games, he would average 27.4 points, 5.6 rebounds, around 3.5 assists, 1 steal, turning the ball over 3 times, while shooting a ridiculous 55% from the field and 82% from the charity stripe. He will also win those 2 scoring titles I previously mentioned, while scoring 30 points both times and also shooting 55% both times. However, all that's regular season stuff. What about the playoffs? Was he still this effective scorer in the playoffs? Was he still unstoppable in the playoffs when teams are game planning against you specifically to stop everything that you want to do on the court? They know it and they want to stop it. Was he still good? Yes, he was. He got his first taste of playoff basketball in the year 1978 playing for the Los Angeles Lakers. And even though they lost in the first round, only playing in 3 games, he would put up averages of 17 points, 8 rebounds, 3.5 assists, 1.5 steals, only 2 turnovers, while shooting 57% from the field, 64% from the free throw line. And as the rest of his playoff stats would reflect, he was still the same person he was during the regular season, as in 48 playoff games he would average 21.3 points, 5.5 rebounds, 2.5 assists, only 0.9 steals, 2.5 turnovers, still shooting at 52% from the field goal, but dropped down to 79% from the charity stripe. However, after 7 seasons playing for the Utah Jazz and their team never really making it anywhere outside the second round, it was time to ship Dantley to a different team and go into rebuilding mode. He would then find himself on the Detroit Pistons, who was a championship level team who just needed one more piece. Thinking that Adrian Dantley could be that scoring option for the team, they decided to trade for him. However, Dantley and the Pistons' best player at the time, Isaiah Thomas, didn't see eye to eye, and eventually they would have to trade Dantley for someone else who would be a better fit in Mark Aguirre. After being traded by the Pistons, he would play 2 more seasons in the league and then officially retire in 1991 from the NBA, where he would finish 9th in all-time scoring with 23,177 points. And now here comes the best part of these videos for me. What was his best season? And what the best season means is, what was he doing individually as compared to what the team was doing because of his expertise? I know a lot of you that already know who Adrian Dantley is would probably say that 1987 to 88 season where he was on the Pistons, they were just 1 game away from winning the NBA championship. But that's not really the best season for him. Seeing as he was a pure scorer, he could not be anything less than a number 1 or number 2 option. And in that Detroit team, he was at best the 3rd best option behind Joe Dumars and Isaiah Thomas. I would say that his best season was between 1983 and 1984, where in the regular season he would average 30 points, 5.7 rebounds, 4 assists, giving you 0.8 steals, 3.5 turnovers, but shooting a ridiculous 55% from the field and a very efficient 86% from the free throw line, especially for his standards. That season, he would then go on to be an all-star, make the NBA second team, and finish 7th in MVP voting. Oh, and I forgot to mention, he also won the scoring title that year with them 30.6 points per game average. He would lead them to a 45-37 record, which was good enough for a top 10 record in the league and being the best record in their division. And once he got to the playoffs, he was ready to put on the show, as he would average 32.2 points a game, 7.5 rebounds, 4.2 assists, 0.9 steals, 3.5 turnovers, while his field goal percentage went down from 55 to 50%, and his free throw percentage staying the same at that 86. And even though the Jazz lost in the second round to the Phoenix Suns that season, at least he went out going his way and not any other way any other team would want him to go. Alright family, that's all I got for you today on this one. If you liked the video, please make sure to hit that like button, comment down below, and or subscribe if you haven't done all that great stuff already. It's been your favorite cousin Commissioner CJ, and y'all boys stay safe out there, alright? Peace, peace.
I draw it up and execute, I need a coaching job. I'm the type to help my man score, I'm finna throw the lob. These niggas ain't touching paper, they just broken lost. In the 300, it bends the earth like I train with Todd. Historic run,